good Wednesday morning, everybody. Quite a night for many of us last night, Justin.
Yes, it was.
Rumbles of thunder, and I know personally I was out kind of doing that yard work because it was kind of nice, and I looked to the south, and it was nice and sunny and everything, and then I looked to the north, and was it black, dark clouds.
Yeah, it was really great evening yesterday up until it wasn't in many spots. And it was, we had that area of storms race in. I actually, funny enough, had a lightning strike. My wife and I saw that struck in our backyard. We live kind of over by Horrocks. People know where that's at, towards that side of the Lansing area. Delta Township over between there and Grand Ledge, west side over there by Horrocks, and we had a lightning bolt that struck. I watched it hit the ground last night, right outside, and the instantaneous thunder. It was pretty wild.
I wonder if that was the same one that I saw.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I was out in my sunroom, because I had all the windows open. I was really trying to experience all the thunder rolling in. My cat was out there. We saw a huge lightning flash, but we didn't hear thunder for a bit.
Okay. It's possible. It could have been. It was around 8:30, I want to say, or thereabouts. And so, but I mean, it was pretty wild. And of course, working this morning, I was hoping to try to get some sleep, and that prevented a bit of that from happening. But of course,
you're going to lose out on a lot of sleep.
Yeah. Coming up here pretty soon. But yeah, so anyway, we had a couple storms rumble through the area last night. Fortunately, we didn't have any big issues here in mid-Michigan. There was a tornado warning a little west in the state, but I think it was broad rotation. They probably won't confirm that it was a tornado, which is good news, of course. But that was a warned storm yesterday, and that included parts of Berry County, far western Berry County, almost outside of our viewing area. And then the storms were through and gone by midnight, and the rest of the morning's been quiet. We did cool down a little bit, but nothing like what we're going to see tonight, which is why we have freeze warnings in play. But the clouds have been holding on outside. So US 127 sort of shows that blanket of clouds now in Meridian Company Skycam Network. We're at 37 degrees, north-northwest wind. And again, we are seeing feels like numbers near 30 degrees, but here's the satellite radar loop that'll take you back. So there are those storms blowing through last night. Again, by midnight they were gone, and then we've quieted down. You notice out towards the Saginaw Bay region, especially if you look towards Flint, so there's the storms blowing through. Watch these weak couple returns that come in near the end here. Those are a few raindrops and even some snowflakes coming down, fluttering through the air in that region. Fortunately, none of that is having any sort of impact on area weather, and in fact, I think a lot of it's probably not reaching the ground with the dry air at the surface. But if it is, nothing is certainly sticking if there are any flakes over that way. And I did mention on the show this morning, if you were watching with us, we had our Big B coffee. Darren was out there in East Lansing at the Big B there on Michigan Ave. We were mentioning this morning that don't be surprised if maybe somebody across the area sees one or two snowflakes flutter through the air. Again, not going to cause any problems, but here even in late April, coming off a night where you had storms and going towards days where we're going to have many highs in the 70s, you can still have that happen. So the current conditions are cloudy about everywhere. We got mid to upper 30s temperatures. They're only going to climb about 10 to 12 degrees today, and so we'll be lucky to get to near 50 this afternoon in this Wednesday planner. And so we get sunshine in the forecast today. It's good to have, but once again, staying pretty chilly for the time of year, not making it back to 50 degrees, and we'll continue to see those numbers tumble later on too, and this is the result of that. The freeze warnings, which now are in effect for almost all of our mid-Michigan counties from midnight to 8 a.m. Thursday. The two counties in our area, Branch and Hillsdale, that have got the light blue, those are still freeze watches. And that area down in that part of the state is actually run by the National Weather Service branch that is not in Michigan, and that is in northern Indiana. They're the ones who issue those watches, warnings, other advisories for those counties. And so I guess they just weren't on the same page with Grand Rapids this morning, who does most of the rest of the area. And so when Grand Rapids said we're going to put out freeze warnings, and when Detroit said we're going to put out freeze warnings too, I guess northern Indiana just said, we're going to wait a little longer until we do. So I expect they probably will follow suit later today, because Branch Hillsdale, you're also going to get down to lows in the 20s tonight, like all these other counties. And so I expect that all of us are going to have to deal with this. And the temperatures in the hour by hour, which you will see here, are only getting to those upper 40s this afternoon to near 50. And then here's the overnight. And so the models only have it going down to around 30 with a few 20s peeking through. I think the numbers will be a couple degrees cooler than this. We'll probably be 26, 27 degrees for our lows. That'll mean widespread heavy frost and some hard freeze in many spots too. And so not only do you want to take care of any tender plants or sensitive ones and other vegetation, you also want to take care, if you do have, let's say, any pipes or anything like that out and about, that maybe you've already thrown a garden hose in because you've had some nice weather here and there. You're going to want to take those steps to maybe bring the hose in tonight, not have any standing water out there, maybe do just anything to cover it up, even briefly, just for one night, because it does look like numbers are going to warm up significantly as the week goes on, but we're still going to have that potential for hard freeze tonight with temperatures like this. Now, the good news and the silver lining in this forecast, as you'll see here, is we do get back well into the 50s Thursday, and we will be much warmer after that as we head towards the weekend, even if we bring in some rain opportunities.
But still a little bit lower than our average?
Yeah, it definitely is. And so, I mean, well, as far as the temperatures today and tonight will be below normal. Tomorrow's below normal too, but we're going to turn it around as we head into the rest of the weekend. And forecast beyond actually stays above average through the rest of the month and into early May, which is nice. So here's the hour by hour today. We shed the cloud cover. Afternoon looks sunny. Beautiful day, other than the fact that we're only in the 40s for highs. And so that's kind of the one fly in the ointment, as Andy Provenzano likes to say. As we head towards the Thursday morning time frame, there's that very chilly start tomorrow. You don't see the temperatures on this map, but you do see just a few clouds hanging around, but mainly clear conditions. As we get into the afternoon, I think it's more sunshine on Thursday. Highs will recover a little more. We'll get back at least into the mid-50s in many spots. But I want you to notice one more thing in this hour by hour. Headed out into Friday, we start bringing a system our direction. Now here's 4 p.m. Friday, and this model still currently has, or still has that system at that time, 4 p.m. Friday, south and west of our area, but closing in. And so I think as we get closer to sundown Friday, we're going to see a couple of showers start to creep in, and that'll be ahead of an unsettled pattern for the weekend, which will bring shower and storm opportunities through our area for several days. I don't think any weekend day is what I would call a washout by any means, but there will be numerous opportunities and rounds to see wet weather come through, and so that'll be kind of what we're looking at. So here's the 10-day forecast that shows that. Again, we're 49 today, a little bit breezy. Cloud cover decreases, though. We get back to 57 Thursday with the sunshine. I've got 66 Friday on a day that should turn out partly cloudy, but by late in the day, again, we're bringing in rain that comes in overnight. Another thing to note, we head into this weekend, you see the shower and thunderstorm chances that work into the area. Those are, again, not going to be washouts on any given day, but it will be breezy. It will be a little bit stormy at times. I think Sunday afternoon, depending on if we can stave off the rain and get it out of here, I think Sunday afternoon, that 78-degree high could be one that's cold. I think we could end up getting close to 80 degrees and maybe even into the lower 80s on Sunday if that is the case. And so, again, we will hope that that is the case so that we can enjoy the first 80-degree day of the year, hopefully, on Sunday if the rain's able to get out of here.
Well, and the Lugnuts are home this weekend.
Yeah, and so that'll make for a great day game there on the homestand around out Sunday, especially if the rain moves out in the morning, which right now I currently have as the case, and then Sunday afternoon being probably the best day of the year so far for baseball. Now, Monday we bring back a couple more showers, maybe a storm, and then we really get into some great weather next week. Despite that late next week Friday rain chance, Tuesday in our forecast is the final day of April. Wednesday is May 1st. The fifth month of the year, 2024 here, is trucking along fast, and those are some great temperatures we're going to have at that point next week. I think a lot of folks around mid-Michigan are going to enjoy a lot, especially since it won't come with rain. And so if you look at the forecast for this weekend, that looks more like an early to mid-June forecast with mid to upper 70s highs and overnight lows this weekend. By the way, it's going to be humid. Overnight lows are going to be in the 60s. And so those are going to be the warmest low temperatures we've had all year that occurred this weekend. And then next week, again, those 70s high temperatures that return, those are going to coincide with low temperatures that are near 50 degrees, which is nice, cool, comfortable, kind of keep your windows open overnight if you're trying to air things out. And then 70s for the highs. I mean, you know, I love the month of May, and I have said that a lot.
You were saying it a lot yesterday.
It's just a great month of the year because we're constantly warming up. I like the summer season, I think, more than anything else, but May would probably be my standalone favorite individual weather month. And it's just because you get a lot of days like that we see early next week. Low 70s highs, low 50s lows. It's cool enough in the evening where the people who like the cool air enjoy it. but it's pleasant enough during the day with sunshine and 70 where you're outside and not having a care in the world. Any outdoor activities, you're not working up too much of a sweat, especially if it's dry. It's just a great time of year, and I'm really looking forward to more days like that in the future. It looks like if we start the month with those, it's looking pretty likely we'll probably have a lot of opportunities in that month to look forward to. And so I'm enjoying the forecast. Things look pretty good. And other than this weekend's couple storms here and there, just be mindful of that. Be mindful of the frost freeze tonight. But otherwise, forecast looks pretty good for this time of year. Can't complain too much. A lot of above average days out there, and none of them are like 80s or super warm, other than maybe Sunday if we get the rain out of it.
We've already had the high 70s and 80s already this year, so
yeah, right.
We're fine.
Yep.
But as you're planning, maybe you're going down to the draft this weekend, or you're planning to go to some baseball games, make sure you have this handy little tool right in the palm of your hand, the First Alert Weather app.
Yeah, the best one for you to have. And again, we're constantly updating this with such regularity that you're never going to find an outdated or old forecast on there past more than a couple of hours at a time before this is updated. And every meteorologist who works here around the clock, between myself, Colton, Andy, and of course Darren, we're always keeping this updated on a constant basis. Great tool to have. And of course, as we get closer towards the weekend, if you're not able to catch us on air, online, any of our platforms, it's a great tool for you in a pinch. I went to Canada last weekend in Toronto for a bachelor party for a buddy of mine, and I kid you not, I the whole time only used the First Alert Weather app. We were trying to set up a golf round, figure out some things we wanted to do outside, go get up the CN Tower or something. I was looking at the First Alert Weather app. Whenever my buddies would pull something else up, I'd shake my head at them and go, nope.
Nope.
Nope, can't do that. Got to get the First Alert Weather app ready to go. It served us well. It was accurate. It was reliable, even in a foreign land. I know it's just Canada, but you know, just being right there. Land. Yeah, and so it was cool being able to use that. And I know that I believe when Taylor was abroad and when Andy was in Italy, like they used the First Alert Weather app, and it's good over there too. Does the job, does the trick, and a great tool to have.
It's very easy to use. Darren and I were talking about it. Like, yes, it's free, it's accurate. Those are very, very important. But none of that really matters if it's not easy for people to use, because they're just not going to use it.
100%. So, you want an app that's both, and we work so hard to make sure that ours is. And so, hopefully, you're able to download it if you haven't already. Once again, it's absolutely free in Google Play and the App Store, wherever you get your apps. All you got to do is search WILX Weather. Comes right up. And again, like Crystal said, super user-friendly and really easy to use. And so hopefully you download it if you don't have it on any of your devices.
And then down here at the bottom, I've always been trying to like zoom in on it, and it never really works out quite well. But right here, during a First Alert Weather Day, which we had last week, actually a week ago today.
Yep, last Wednesday.
If we're in a First Alert Weather Day, you can tap here and enter to win a First Alert Weather umbrella. And then right underneath that, right now it's just a blue screen. We're working on that. But that's where you can actually upload and share videos and photos of weather damage, hail, down trees, the skies, anything, right from your phone. And it goes straight to our weather team to use on air and online. So.
Right, and of course we encourage
once it's safe.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes. We encourage you to do so safely, but yeah, that's a wonderful tool where that you can connect with us, let us know what's going on where you are, because sometimes as much as the weather information we have and the tools at our disposal, we can't be everywhere at once, right? We can't see what's going on everywhere at once, and so you can help us do that by safely submitting photos and videos, letting us know if you've got anything kind of cool or maybe not so cool going on where you are, as long as you're safely able to get to it.
All right, well, I think you should probably get in a quick nap.
I might try, actually. I might try to lay my head down for like a half hour or something. We'll see what we can do.
I really think you should, because you're going to be on News 10 today at 11 with our own Taylor Gattoni. And here is what you can expect to see. Then we do have, as the war between Israel and Gaza rages on, pro-Palestinian protests have been escalating on college campuses across the country. And today, House Speaker Mike Johnson is set to visit Columbia University amid the protests. A lot of schools, including Columbia, have actually moved their classes online for the remainder of the semester out of a precaution. Plus, a heads up for drivers in Jackson County, intermittent lane closures on bridges along I-94 and US 127 started at 6 a.m. today so that crews can perform maintenance. So you're going to want to adjust your routes accordingly. And I think they are all just about leaving the newsroom, but we have a crew going down to Detroit, as football fans around the country will be focused on the Motor City during tomorrow's 2024 NFL Draft. All eyes on Motown. Lots of people coming to that great city, and we will be there, of course. We've got a full crew heading down right now. I think one of them was sitting down, and then she's about to leave. So
it's the way it goes in this industry.
Yeah.
Always on the move, always doing something. So, yeah, we're going to get some good coverage. So hopefully you'll tune in. Weather should be decent as well down there, too, tomorrow night.
It is outdoors.
Yeah, a little below normal for the time of year, but not uncomfortable. Temperatures will probably be close to 50 when the first pick's announced at 8 p.m. But before then, it'll be mid to upper 50s with sunshine, so that'll be pretty nice to have. And
kind of gutsy to have it outside at the end of April in Detroit.
It can be, because you never know. We have some years where we're getting big snows at that time, but it's. I think it's a great thing for the city of Detroit specifically. I grew up in the Metro Detroit area, and it's. Definitely an area that very, very blue collar, very hardworking, gritty folks, and I think that I've seen a lot of cleanup that they've done leading up to this event too, and a whole bunch of things. Hopefully, that's something that maybe now that it's been done can encourage to keep up that way, right? Of course, that's always the hope, but just a great time of pride for the city of Detroit, and our sports teams are, I think, a lot of them starting to kind of figure it out too a little bit and coming back.
Most of them.
Roaring back. Yeah. All of them, but maybe one.
There's just one that we got to work on.
Yeah, but we'll see how the draft shakes out, if we can get a pick.
It reminds me a little bit of the hype from the Super Bowl back in 2005.
Yes.
With Pittsburgh.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
So. There was a lot of pride then, but that was in the winter.
Super Bowl 40.
Yeah.
XL, if you will. I mean, we still use the Roman numerals for that. Almost nothing else, but at least for that.
When motion pictures were copyrighted.
Yes,
also, any thoughts on who Detroit's going to pick? Any local players do you think are going to go?
Oh gosh, I think that there's a lot of good players available. I think a good need for us to address personally would be another defensive player. I think we really need to pick somebody up like that. But, I mean, you never know. Sometimes if somebody slides on the board and you have a good opportunity, maybe even to take someone out of position of what you thought you might have needed, if somebody's too good to pass up, maybe that could be the case. I don't know.
I always remember
see how it all shakes out.
When Aaron Rodgers was drafted and how far he fell. And then even at that time, I think he fell surprisingly far, because I remember him at Cal. He was pretty good, and to see him slide down, and he did tell them that they would regret not picking him. He told San Francisco, right? I believe wasn't it the Niners? I believe it was the Niners. Yeah.
He told them that they'd regret not picking him, and he was at the Packers. They'll regret it, and a lot of other teams. He basically said a lot of other teams, but he was hoping that his hometown area would take him. So.
But. Sometimes it happens, like Hutch. Sometimes it doesn't, like Aaron Rodgers. And
I love Hutch. Yeah. Gosh, he's so great.
And he's been a good ambassador for Detroit. He has been,
Michigan man, right? I mean, born and raised, came up between Divine Child High School, which is near where I was from, and obviously the time he spent in Ann Arbor with Michigan and everything he did there. And
funny story, the first piece of artwork I got for my game room in my basement is Aiden Hutchinson tackling Aaron Rodgers in his final game as a Packer.
Yeah, that game was wonderful.
It was so good.
That was amazing.
Sorry, David Andrews.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's tough.
Anyway,
here we are.
We're gonna be.
They've had lots of years of success. It's our turn.
Yeah,
it's our turn.
It is.
We've earned it.
Those black uniforms are gonna get it done for us this year.
Oh gosh, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're gonna either go nap or talk to.
Could I real quick? I'm gonna look. Oh, she just perked her head up.
Why?
Oh no, it's okay. We can still take it. Mom over there is shimmying down a little bit. She was just looking down with her eyes closed. I was about to just tap on it and say that's going to be me in about 5 minutes, because I might go try to get a power nap in. But maybe she heard me. We woke her up. But anyway,
she's an expecting parent, just like yourself. So.
I hope hers.
There you go.
I hope there we go. That'll be me in a couple minutes here. I hope that hers come first. because I'm not ready just yet. I need these next couple weeks to prepare. I'm excited. June 11th, by the way, for those at home who are interested. We're excited to meet baby boy. It'll be fun.
So excited.
Yep, it'd be a good deal. I think the chicks will be here before June 11th.
We're expecting within the 7 to 10 days.
Yeah,
so.
Next week can change, something like that. So exciting times for everybody. We're all pumped.
All right, well, Chris in East Lansing, thank you again for watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
Again, we're live on YouTube and Twitter for these shows, live every day. If it's breaking news, we will also be live on Facebook. But for the regular shows, we're going to be on Twitter and YouTube. So make sure you check us out there. And we'll see you at 11. Taylor Gattoni is here as well.
Yep.
We'll be back here at 2 o'clock with another look at your weather, plus what we're working on for over 90 minutes of news with our local reporters. That starts first at 4. And we'll check in with Studio 10 to see what they are doing for their show that starts at 3 o'clock. Until then, have a great Tuesday, everybody. And we will see you later. Thanks for tuning in.
See you.